This is Melissa McGinnis with Long Beach Local News. We're in the beautiful City Hall building in downtown. It's another gorgeous day. We're on the 8th floor and we're visiting with your city auditor, Laura Doud. Laura, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
So tell our viewers, I know we visited with you before. We're your biggest fan. We love what you do here and your office. But tell our viewers a little bit more about you and about what you do here.
Well, thank you. Yes, I am Laura Doud, and I am the city auditor for the city of Long Beach. I am elected by the people. I represent the people. I report to the people. And we really do provide independent assurance that taxpayer dollars are spent wisely and appropriately. It's kind of, in a nutshell, what we do. We really try to provide transparency of city operations and also to do what we can to prevent fraud, waste, and abuse within the city.
It's such a gift to the city. I mean, really, with your findings and your audits, you really help locate money that might not be used or being used misappropriately and put it into things like parks and streets and things that we really enjoy as citizens.
Yes, you're exactly right. It is a very important function, and it's really a benefit to the city of Long Beach that this is an elected position that does report directly to the public.
Right, you can really audit any industry here.
Yes, that's right. The city charter provides us great latitude and authority to look at any city operation, department, agency, or office to ensure that that things are being spent and done appropriately.
Well, you know, I like to call you the watchdog. You are the big dog here in Long Beach. You're the watchdog, and we're talking today about, it's International Fraud Week, correct?
Yes, that's right.
What does that mean?
Thank you. Yes, this is International Fraud Awareness Week. It really is an opportunity to let the public be more aware that fraud it can occur and it does occur, and we need to be aware. We need to be alert. If we suspect a wrongdoing, if something just doesn't add up or doesn't seem right or feel right, that there is a way for them to report it. And so we wanted the public to know that we have a fraud hotline that they can call at 1-888-FRAUD-07. There are other ways to report fraud too. I think we'll get into a little bit maybe in closing, but it is a way to let people know that there is a hotline that exists to report fraud if they suspect it.
And this is for you, the individual, the viewer. It's not for companies or big corporations. It's for individual residents. You have the ability to contact your city auditor if you suspect a wrongdoing, and give us some examples.
Thank you. Yes, and you know, the best cases that we get come from tips. Our tips are the most common method in preventing and detecting fraud. We really, really rely on tips. So I just want to encourage people, again, if you have a suspicion, to report this tip. We have received approximately 439 calls since we have revitalized our fraud hotline in the year 2007. The past 2 years, we've investigated 58 cases of it. We have a new fraud report that highlights some of the issues that people have reported on suspicious payment of overtime, suspicious overpayments. The city is possibly overpaying them. We've received calls regarding businesses that are overbilling the city. There are a number of different types of fraud, conflicts of interest, unfair bidding practices, poor purchasing practices. There are a number of calls that we have received, and just want to say that when a tip does come in, we do take all of this information from them anonymously. We protect their privacy if they choose, and we investigate this information to the full extent of the law as far as we can go, and we have had some very successful cases as a result.
You've actually done some audits and found some guilty parties, if you will, and you were able to reallocate some of the money that you found back into the city. Tell us about that.
Yes, with the example, we had one at animal care facilities, and there was an employee there who had embezzled hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash, and it was very unfortunate, but through our audit we did confirm that she was stealing. She did plead guilty. She was arrested. She served time in prison, and she is paying restitution to the city. So when fraud does happen, we all suffer. city services suffer as a result of fraud that takes place. So we need to stop it.
No matter how big or small, I think it's so interesting. She was working in an animal care facility, and a tip came in that they were suspecting she was embezzling money. Your office investigated it
Yes.
and found indeed she had, and she'd been there for 20 years, you mentioned.
Yes, yes, she did. And for those 20 years, majority of the time there it was a cash manual business. So as things were automated, there was enough audit trail for our office to come in and confirm that she did steal for that 1 year. We didn't have an audit trail to confirm for all the other years, but animal control is now receiving all the cash and the money that they're receiving as a result of our audit and the proper internal controls that exist there now. And so that's what we do. We make sure that proper policies and proper checks and balances and internal controls and management oversight and these important things are in place so that this can't happen. But we can't be everywhere, so we need the eyes and ears of the employees and the citizens and business owners and residents to let us know if they suspect it.
To give us one more example about a resident who called the tip hotline in regards to her house being boarded.
The thing is, and so she had a broken window and she was told that she needed to fix it or the city would come in and repair it, and she said, I will take care of it. And in the meantime, I guess she didn't repair it quick enough, and the city subcontracted this work out and repaired the work, and then she was given this large bill. So she called the fraud hotline and said, I told them I'd board it up and they did it and they charged me all this money. Anyway, our office did investigate this, and we found that the contractor was subcontracting the work out. The subcontractor was receiving inappropriate rate increases for the work he was doing. There was not proper oversight in the management of this contract. As a result, this resident was being overcharged. So it's part of our audit report, and these things need to stop.
Just when you think you don't have anywhere to go or anyone to call Laura's office. I know it by heart, 1-888-FRAUD-07, and there's a couple other ways to report.
Yes, online. There's a way you can report online. Follow the link at Reporting Fraud. We also have a My Auditor app that they can download at the App Store or at Google Play. They can also call our phone number, 562-570-6767. And anyway, there's a lot of convenient ways to report the tips through our hotline, through our website, through our My Auditor app. And please report tips if you suspect them. We can't tolerate fraud against our city. These are tax dollars at stake. And these are our city services that suffer as a result. So together we can make Long Beach the great city that it is by protecting taxpayer dollars and making sure that they are used appropriately for the things that we all need and love here in Long Beach.
Laura, you're such a blessing here for all of us in Long Beach. We thank you for being our watchdog. And I do want to point out, when you do call the fraud hotline, you'll get a live voice, which I think is so important. Someone's really interested in hearing from you. So don't hold back if you suspect fraud or if you want to discuss any kind of other residential issues, like you gave us some great examples. Thank you. Keep up the great work, Watchdog, and we look forward to visiting with you again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.